the 7:30 Spotlight on 107.7 The End.
7:30 Spotlight, and in the studio with me tonight is James from the Manic Street Preachers. How are you?
Fine.
Welcome,
Pleased to meet you.
Welcome to town. You actually got in yesterday at like 4 o'clock. Hung out a little bit. You just got off tour with the lads from Oasis. Is that pretty crazy?
No, it's kind of, just like any other tour. They were fine. They just got on with their gigs and stuff. Contrary to, popular belief. They don't fight every day or anything. It was just, everything seemed to be going swimmingly well.
Well, from what I understand, they actually don't hang out a whole lot also.
No, I'm kind of, they were just, to be honest, they were just normal, I think, if I think of a lot of English bands, hanging out isn't really a normal thing to do anyway.
Right. Right. You guys, you haven't been in the States that long, probably, what, a month now? Or has it even been that, 3 weeks,
yeah,
2 weeks?
We were here for about 3 weeks up until, and then we went back for a week, and now we came back yesterday.
God, why are you flying all over the place? Did you go back to do Reading or a festival or something?
No, it's because Oasis cancelled the rest of their dates. It would have just been too expensive for us to be tourists in America for a week.
Although it would have been fun.
It would have been fun, but it would have been very expensive, and I think we would have just spent so much money and just guzzled our brain cells away.
Right.
To many various bars and stuff.
Probably would have been a good idea to send you guys home.
Yeah.
Put you away for
a bit of pills and stuff.
Let's kind of explain a little bit of the history of the band for folks here that might not be familiar with the band. This is your third full-length album?
This is fourth album.
Fourth full-length album.
Veterans,
Sorry, maybe I should have read up on the bio
here.
Okay,
no,
I tend to wing it without the bios.
So many bands, so many interviews.
I remember a good friend of mine works at your label, and he was telling me that, he was really excited about you guys coming over about 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, to the States to do a press tour.
Yeah.
And we had set up an interview for you guys here on the radio station. You were launching the release of the last album, and all of a sudden, you got to the airport. One of your band members did not show up.
Yeah.
And I explained the story the other night on the air, but I didn't really go into detail. And I don't want to make you go into detail. We here in the Northwest have experienced a very similar tragedy to what your band has experienced. One of your guitar players, songwriters, lyricists disappeared. You never found him again.
No.
And I know that it was a rough year and a half for you guys.
Yeah, it was, I suppose so.
Trying to decide, was there a point that when he disappeared, you guys probably really sat around wondering whether you were going to go on as a band?
Yeah.
Whether Richey was going to show up again any day with a big smile on his face. Tell me about some of the emotions the band experienced.
To be honest, it's, I suppose a lot of people expect it for it to be hard for us to carry on as a band, but it's not because we've all known each other since we were like 5-6 years old. So the actual things that actually matter and affect us in regarding to Richey's disappearance is things that you engage in a very personal level, like say spending Christmas with somebody or buying them presents or going for drinks with them or just being friends with them. But actually being within the band, actually recording another album and going on tour was the easiest thing for us to do. Kind of band members. So that's, I suppose, the actual emotions that arise out of the Richey thing are on a very personal level and they're not really professional, so to speak. But I suppose, you kind of drew a kind of comparison with what you call the West Coast tragedy, but it's completely different because there's no kind of tangible death involved,
right?
And there's no corpse, as you would say. It's much more of a limbo kind of thing. And I guess somebody disappears. So
to explain exactly what we're talking about, so we're not leaving people out in the dark. I picked up a lot of British magazines at the time that this was going on. They had Kurt Cobain's picture on one half of the magazine, Richey James from the Manic Street Preachers on the other half. Kurt ended his life, and it's believed at this point that Richey had done the same.
No, it's not really believed. I think people don't believe anything, especially in Britain, because they take it as a great chance to mythologize something, kind of a great lost, kind of little legend kind of thing. So I don't think people have stopped, kind of drawing any conclusions as to whether he's alive or dead. I think it's just it's a myth now, to be honest.
The first single, Designed for Life, I actually picked up when I was on vacation at a little import record store down in Los Angeles. And first time I got a chance to listen to it, I was flying home on the plane, had my headphones in, and despite the fact that the single has nothing to do with the disappearance of Richey, to the best of my knowledge, lyrically, it has nothing to do with that. It's a very sort of heavy tune in that you utilize a string section, which gives it a real dramatic element.
Yeah.
I got a little choked up listening to a song that really wasn't maybe about this situation. Describe what the song is about.
No, I mean, kind of a lot of people think that, a lot of the music is going to be imbued with the sense of loss, or anything. But, I can't tell if there are any subconscious reactions within the music as in regards as to what happened with Richey.
That's what I was touching on.
I'm not a rock and roll psychologist, It's kind of, I'm not particularly, a big fan of all that psychobabble that goes on. So I'm not really going to put my pseudo-journalistic hat on and try and decide whether our songwriting was affected by the Richey thing.
Okay.
But, if it sounds like that to other people, I can easily accept that. But more than anything, a song like Designed for Life it was a song about the working classes and stuff and where we came from, and I didn't want it to be
kind of getting back to that, maybe.
Yeah, and I wanted to actually kind of be grandiose and didn't want it to be tawdry. Wanted it to be almost victorious, because it takes its inspiration from something which is a very humble origin, and I want to turn it into something else, So perhaps that's why the actual music doesn't belie some of the sentiments,
Okay, let's take a listen to it. Manic Street Preachers. I guess we should mention that you're playing tonight, damn it. Playing tonight, and I get them confused. Crocodile Cafe.
Yeah.
It's downtown. Manic Street Preachers, Designed for Life, the first single from the new album. It's 107.7 The End. It's 107.7 The End. Manic Street Preachers in the studio with me, James from the Preachers, or rather the Manics. I guess a difference between
James Street Preacher,
the States and the UK. In a minute, I'm going to play what I found on your single is a remix that the Chemical Brothers did of an old song.
Yeah, it's kind of they remixed it around about a year and a half ago, about 2 years ago, I think, and just turned out really well. It's just really exciting to let them do it and have no control over it and just wait for the results to come back. It's quite exciting to see if somebody's completely butchered up one of your songs.
How did you end up hooking up with them? I imagine if you all live right there in London, it's got to be...
Well, kind of, it used to be this club I used to go to around about 3.5 years ago, about 3 years, used to be called the Sunday Social, and it was run by the people that owned a record company in London called Heavenly, who put out our early singles. And I was still really good friends with the guy that owns it, Jeff Barrett. And they used to do a regular spot down at this
Jeff Barrett
club.
from Portishead.
No, Jeff Barrett from Heavenly Records.
Oh, Barrett. Okay.
Barrett, yeah.
Okay.
And the Chemical Brothers used to do a set at this club all the time, and they used to play some of our records, and I'd bought one of their records a long time ago, one of their early singles, Chemical Beats, and just kind of got to know them, basically. It's just, through being a bit of a, kind of social jet setter in London, basically, Hey, I love your records. I love your records too. Let's do a remix.
Now, that kind of thing goes on over in the UK quite a bit. I mean, there's sort of a real cross between, say, the dance, the beat-oriented scene and the indie scene.
Yeah.
The guitar scene.
Yeah, it's just kind of any kind of sense of snobbery, which kind of seems to be really strong in a place like New York. Everything seems so segregated in a place like New York, especially in the music industry. Whereas in London, kind of, that cross-fertilization is kind of quite, it just seems quite natural, and just people are just open to each other in London a bit more.
Well, I'm definitely hoping that kind of thing goes on here more with the likes of the Chemical Brothers just getting ready to put out the single with Noel doing vocals.
No, that's a cool single, actually.
It's really good. I have it on cassette.
Yeah.
They're making me not play it until I get the CD version, but I'm really excited about it.
It's really good when you've drunk quite a lot. It makes you very violent.
Thank you for coming in, and let's do this remix. Check the Manic Street Preachers out tonight. Crocodile Cafe, 10, 11, somewhere in that realm.
Yeah.
It's 107.7 The End. Thanks again for stopping by.
So very much.